welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing a haunt that we've been to many times now, but it's so good we just have to keep going back, and that is Chippewa Lake Slaughter. We both have our merch on. See, mine's just a little Carver Meats thing, but the back has like a whole like piggy thing going on. It's kind of smaller. I turn around and like try and show it to you, but I'm not going to worry about it. But it's kind of like hers. But mine just says Carver Meats, which is like the meat plant thing. That's, the Carver family. They have a whole like thing. So one thing I do want to say, if you haven't checked out our preview for Nightmare Cleveland, go check that out, because again, it's the same creator. Yeah. And that should be opening up on October 7th here for their first time. That's their first night ever in operation. Which is a Friday, and then they will be open on Thursdays as well. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know if it's Sundays or not, but you can check the website out for them. But one thing new we did this year, because we go every year, so we're like, well, we want, they started doing the touch pass, I think it was last year.
Last year, yes.
And we didn't do it because it was just me and Kim. We were just like, we just didn't feel like being tossed around. But we're like, no, we want to do the touch pass this year, and we want to bring other people with us. Because we thought that would be fun. So we're not going to talk about the touch pass too much in the first section, which will be sets and props. But I will say that it definitely intensified the experience. Spoiler alert there, so make sure you stick around when we get into actors and scare factor, because we're going to be talking about what that touch experience is like. But we have to get into the review now, which as always means we have to refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! All right, so as always, we're going to kick it off with sets and props.
All right, so it's a slaughterhouse. Yep. It's very much like that's the whole theme. Basically, you go into where these people work, make their living, where they live, where they play.
Yeah, where they play.
So it's basically the whole thing. It doesn't deviate at all from being a slaughterhouse. You're not going to find any clowns. You're not going to find any haunted house things, that kind of stuff. It's basically, it's going to stick to that theme.
They do find a couple places to put air cannons, though, because of course they do. But besides that,
well, I mean, you have machinery in there that might malfunction.
Sometimes it just shoots air.
It might shoot air at you. You never know.
Oh man.
I'm going to read this off because he put it in here, because we always take notes after we get into we go to the haunted house. And he said, atmosphere equals icky no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we're going to linger as much on sets and props, because again, we've reviewed this place for the last couple of years, and this year they, I will preface by saying because they're focusing on opening an entire new haunt, there's not many changes. There might have been some touch-ups here and there.
Yeah.
We go to so many places that it's hard for me to say, but there's a couple things that I saw that I'm like, that might be new.
Yeah, I think they changed like ways that you went into certain places.
Maybe. It's hard to tell.
They might have rearranged some rooms slightly.
But we will kind of say, again, this place is, just like Kim was saying, is very on brand with its theme. It's really creepy, and you're just going through this family's lives. So, you get to go into places like I think it's just there's an actual garage, but there's like the school bus where the guy would take the school bus because he's kidnapped kids, and then there's a bunch of children hanging from the ceiling. So there's that scene that's still there. Yay! There's the awesome plane crash scene. It's like almost at the very end. Like, I think that was the new addition for last year that they had. That's there, and that's super impressive. And I guess fun fact is it was from it was Love Guru. It's
the real life Love Guru, not the awful movie. The guy, he was this basically a cult leader, and he convinced his followers to basically take over an entire town, and they tried to poison the people that lived in the town so they could rig the election and get their people into office so they could take over this town and take over its government, eventually trying to slowly take over the world and stuff like that. And this was his airplane that he used.
What was the documentary called on Netflix that this is? Is it just called The Love Guru?
No, that's the Mike Myers awful movie, yeah.
But yeah, I know there's I know that, and comment below if you know the name. I know someone did in one of the other videos, might have been the old Chippewa one, but there is a documentary that they actually talk about this plane, I guess. But that's just a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's just scene after scene of just like messed up stuff. One thing that I don't remember, and I guess it kind of involves an actor, but it is a scene, the office scene that's been there for a while. This year there's like a suicide scene when you walk in, gun, and they have like flashing lights, like when he pulls the trigger and stuff. Maybe that has been there before, but I don't remember that happening last year.
No, I remember last year he was running around and like he was being frantic with papers, because I remember he was like waving papers in my face.
Yeah, I remember that one years too.
I don't remember him suicide.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. Maybe there's like multiple different things that they might do. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's just they have a lot of machinery too, and like the soundtrack that plays in this place just really unnerves you.
Yes.
And it's very elaborate in a very not elaborate way, because it's done so well that it just feels like you're just in that place.
Yes.
Now when you get outside, it is very rustic and woodsy kind of thing, because again, like I think the idea is that these people have made things like there was like a culty church out there, and it's very like rudimentarily built.
Yes.
And I believe that's like very much on purpose.
Yeah.
Because like it's something that they would have built, because like it's very like Celtic feeling almost, with like how things are made of sticks and crap like that.
Yeah, and they probably didn't want to go outside of their compound, so to speak, to go worship where they wanted to, how they wanted to worship. So they're like, hey, let's just build a church with what we have on our property.
And even lighting outside is very minimal, and I assume that's because, like they want it to feel realistic, so they wouldn't have like your typical reds and blues necessarily haunted house lights.
Yeah.
So they even try and keep the lighting in this place feeling like it would in like a running production facility. You know what I mean? It might stray from that here and there, like obviously they pump some fog in and stuff, but it really does feel like it is a very realistic environment. It's just as good as it was last year. Not much has changed. There might be some touch-ups, but last year we gave it a 10, and this year it's just as good, so we also gave it a 10.
Yes.
So now we're going to move into actors, because this is where I think the more fun conversation is going to go, and we're probably going to linger on this for a while, because obviously actors, with us doing the touch pass, is going to be where a big topic of this conversation is, because this is the first time for us doing a touch pass there.
Yeah, it was something.
It was something.
It was something. Let's start off with they had a different cue line actor this time.
Oh yeah.
And I actually enjoyed him. I thought he was a little bit nicer, but still mean in a way. Like the other guy is like very like,
he's real mean to you.
Really mean. This guy was more like fun, like kind of like goofy, like backwoods guy, but he was still like, you're like, okay, yeah, he eats people. That definitely, he's gross. But he was really fun and just all over the place.
Because he's a bigger stature guy, and he's like crawling up on these like on like the fencing, like kind of like hanging from the ceiling and like straddling, putting his legs over, making people walk under him and stuff. Someone told him his fly's down, and he's like, and it's gonna go down more. And I'm like, okay. Just all kinds of fun stuff. He was kind of messing with everyone. He had this big megaphone, and he was just like,
I don't even think the megaphone was on. I think
it was on. No, it was on.
It wasn't that loud,
but
it was louder.
Enough.
Yeah. And he kept telling people that had like light colored hoodies on and things like that. He's like, "Don't touch me, I'm sticky."
He looked sticky. I don't think he was
look
kidding.
Really sticky. Yeah, no, he had like some probably blood on him, and he just like, "Don't touch me, I'm sticky." And it was just really funny. I really enjoyed him.
And so when you do the touch pass, it's very similar to like Mansfield and those, where they give you a glow necklace to wear. And the one kid, the bug eater, no. Our one friend, Isaac.
Isaac!
Hi Isaac, if you're watching this one, which I'm sure you will. He was kind of like hesitant to put it on at first. And like, we had kind of like a thing where like, who's going to be the first one to take off the touch pass? Because you take it off, they'll stop touching you and stuff. And no one actually did, which I was proud of all of us. Now, we weren't sure how it was going to go, because some places like barely touch you, other places manhandle you a little bit, and I will say this one had a real good mix, I think. So one of the first ones, there was a guy in like there's like a diner scene when you first enter, and he was pretty aggressive. Like he was grabbing the girl that was in front, who volunteered to be in front, by the way. He's grabbing her, and like then he got down on the ground, was crawling, and kept grabbing her ankles, and she's screaming. And then the guy, the pig mascot guy, comes out, and just with so much conviction, he dead eyes Isaac. He just goes up to him, just grabs him by the throat, and just slams him against the wall and chokes him. And we're just like, okay, this is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. That set the tone for like the entire haunted house. we're like, okay, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah. Now again, not every actor touches, and we actually were asked at the very end by the person in the gift shop, like, how did we feel about it? She's like, because we wanted, to be basically freaky, but not too much to the point where it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So don't think it's every single actor is going to be grabbing and pushing you and shoving you. It's going to be a good mix, but it's not one like, so the hoochie, like, almost all of them touch you, but it's more of just like a this, or like a little pool of hair. Mm-hmm. This one, it's like it's either they don't touch you or they take you for a ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that touch you, it's more than touching, which we'll get there. Yeah, and one thing that's really awesome and creepy about this place is it is so hard to tell who's a mannequin and who's not a mannequin.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I would say actually almost impossible for many of the scenes.
Anxiety was through the roof, because we walk into this one room and I'm like, oh crap. There's just all these people all over the place, and I'm like, which one's real? And like, even rooms that only had like a couple in there, you weren't sure, because these actors were so good at standing completely still, and you wouldn't know until you got beyond them, and then they would move and they would just grab you from behind and do stuff to you, or just make a noise, and you're just like, holy shit, that was a real person.
Yeah. It was really crazy, and a lot of them would just appear even if they weren't like mannequins. Like, all of a sudden, like there was one time where I thought we went through a room and like, oh, okay, well, they must not have an actor in that room. And I turned around to see, because there's 5 of us. We said, usually it's just me and Kim, but we went to this place in Ghoul Brothers. Make sure you watch for that video. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, where's Isaac? And they're like, oh, he got taken. And I'm like, by who? So we're just waiting around, and finally Isaac comes because he got taken again. There was one of the actors grabbed me, and there was like this big trough of like body parts, and they ground up like human meat, I guess. Yeah. And he like shoved my head down in there, and then he kind of tossed me to the side after that. That was fun.
I got my hair grabbed numerous times, and at the end, I actually got grabbed very forcefully. It was in the outside area and stuff like that. Hi, by the way. I'm sure you're watching this.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah. It was kind of funny. I got a message, because some of the people know us, and he's like, I think I saw you guys yesterday. He's like, I think I grabbed Kim's hair. And I'm like, yeah, you did. I believe Kim's response was, yeah, that's my hair.
Because it was forceful, but it was like, you signed up for it. I know how it's going to be,
Yeah, which that guy's pretty freaking, which we're kind of skipping ahead now, but that guy's pretty creepy, because he has like a big pipe, I guess it is. Yeah. And like, you think no one's in this stupid like shipping container with you, and all of a sudden he slams it against the ground. And if you don't scream for that, you're lying. Oh my God. And I guess sometimes he finds it fun to lock people in there, so that's cool. I mean, not forever, but But no, so let's see. One thing Kim's one of Kim's favorite characters. We always name him Wendigo Man, because he has like horns, and he's the guy that has like these little blades, and I think he makes suits out of people.
I think they call him like the tailor or something like that. I don't remember what they call him.
Someone comment below and let us know that character's name.
He actually grabbed me, and I was like actually happy. I was like, yay, my favorite character grabbed me. And he's like, she's mine, she's staying.
And he's never spoke to us before either. We've never heard him speak.
Never spoke, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's good, because like, you're her favorite. And he's just like, good. So we kept Kim in there for a little while. We already talked about the office guy. The chainsaw guys were so freaking scary.
Yeah. Thanks for the back massage.
Yeah. So you walk into... I actually didn't get touched. I was like the only one in the group that didn't get touched by the chainsaw itself. But you walk in there, and there's one guy, and he runs up, and he flings it across the ground, and sparks go flying, and he kind of got me. But then they have it so perfectly timed where there's this one car with its hood open, and it blows fog out. Mm-hmm. And as soon as it blows fog out, another guy comes from nowhere, rips the chainsaw, and just runs at you like that. And I mean, he must practice this a lot, because I mean, he swings it right at you, and like, I mean, it's like so close. You feel the wind.
Yeah.
The girl in front of us, I think, almost had a heart attack. Ended up cornering her against the wall. So the one girl we went with, and I don't have footage from this one, but if you watch the Ghoul Brothers one, we have some footage of her actually in the haunt, because we're allowed to do that. And my God, she screams so much, and it was like the scream queen screams that come out of her mouth just has to feed them like it's like an appetizer, like a full course meal. But yes, there's another one. There's 2 more that I specifically want to shout out. So there's one, and this was in the outside section. We're like walking out there, and there is a guy that, again, popped out of nowhere like a magic trick, and I hear him behind me, and I look, and someone's getting scared. And then when I turn around, because, again, I was second, Cam, although the girl that was with us was right in front of me, there was all of a sudden a guy just coming out of the woods, bear hugs her, and just tries to take her in the woods. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where are these people at? Like, where are they coming from? They just appear.
They do. They just appear.
Like, the hiding places, wherever they're hiding these people at is so good. And then, probably the best interaction of the night. So, the crash plane scene. There's this guy, and he's real creepy. He's, like, a real thin guy, and he's just wrapped up in, like, bandages. He's just real creepy looking, but it's dark, so it's hard to see him exactly. Comes out and just starts this petrifying Cam.
Oh, yeah.
He's just grabbing her, and he's chasing her, and she runs. So she runs way ahead of us, and she goes in the plane, and all we hear is we just hear, like, bang, ah! Bang, 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 ah! Because she's just in this big plane, the crash plane, by herself. Who knows what on earth they were doing to her in there, and you just hear loud noises and just screaming. And then the guy comes out, and I'm laughing because I'm like, what on earth? And he looks at me, and he goes, shh, and then flips me around and just grasps my mouth as hard as he can to shut me up. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, because we didn't see Cam till we got off the plane. She
like bolted off
gone.
of it, and she was at the exit. Yeah, she was done. She was like, okay.
Yeah, and it was also nice. So, like, when we got back in the car and stuff, we kind of asked, like, everybody else, kind of what they thought. And pretty much everyone did agree, that it was, like, the perfect amount of, like, touching, as opposed to, like, just your jump scares and actually being grabbed and stuff. Except for Isaac, who got taken and thrown around the most. He was like, well, I would have liked it if it was a little bit more. And I'm like, why?
He got taken like 3 times.
For the one that for the one that was like the most scared going into like having like a touch haunt experience, he was just like, well, they could have grabbed me more. I would have been okay with that. I'm like, you got choked. But actors were, and there's also quite a few actors. The costuming was great. There's not a ton of dialogue. Some of them have dialogue, but a lot of them, I mean, the whole part is they're just this psychopath family that's just. But I know, like, the lady in black talked to us a bit. Of course, the school bus guy always talks to us.
Yeah, he actually had a little stuffed animal, which I think might have been stuffed with
he, like, shoved that into your face, yeah.
He shoved it in my face, and he's like, you want some? It's really good. I found it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, thank you. I'll pass.
But, yeah, over there's plenty of actors. Their hiding places were insane. Yeah, of course, we gave actors a 10 as well. I highly implore you to do the touch experience if you have not.
Yeah, if you want to step up your haunted house experience, especially if you've been there before.
It makes it like a different experience, for sure.
For sure.
Because it felt completely fresh and new, and we go there every year doing it. And that is one thing I like about the touch experience, is it does, because even if you know where a lot of the hiding places are, which we never remember, we go to so many, but you get jump scared, and then you get tormented more. And so you get the, like, even if you know where they are, then you get to be scared about, like, oh, what are they going to do to me? And, like, obviously they're not going to hurt you, but it's still freaky.
Yeah.
You still, like, you can't help but be defensive when someone's coming at you and, like, going like this, and you're like, shit, you know? Like, it's just your normal reaction. But, but of course, we gave actors a 10. It was great. Just try the touch pass. We do want to mention real quick, if you have not yet, make sure to check out our merch line. We have our Haunt Talk shirts, and I'll have a thing playing right now. So we were really proud of that. You can also get hoodie form, bag form. You can get stickers, all kinds of crap on there. That's cool. Also, check out our Patreon. It helps support us. You can become a member. There's different like tiers and gifts, but the main incentive is to help support the channel so we can keep bringing you haunt reviews and other crap when it's off season. Also, let us know what you'd like to see besides haunt reviews. What about like lights on tours? I'm curious. Would you guys like to see that if we can get haunts to like give us like off-season lights on tours? That's something you would want to watch off-season. And also, you can also leave us a tip through Super Thanks. You just click the Super Thanks button right under the video. Also, all the links to everything we always talk about is right in the description of the video. So, there is that. All right, so next category we are going to move into is going to be Scare Factor.
All right, so yeah, scary.
Right, yeah.
The scares.
We gave it a 10 last year. I don't remember what we gave it last year.
We gave it a 10.
Okay, and yeah. And it was scarier this year because, I mean, this place, you mix the extremely anxiety-ridden atmosphere of being in this place, which is also reportedly actually haunted, by the way. We really want to do a ghost hunt. So we really hope to do that. That would be awesome. And if we're allowed, I would film that if we can get in there. So I'm really hoping that's something we can do. Anyways, I really want to do that. Because we also do the Haunted Adventure series, if you're unfamiliar, where we actually ghost hunt real places.
Yeah.
Like, actually haunted places. But yeah, the places are so freaky with its atmosphere, and there's so many jump scares. Then mixed with that touch pass, it is overwhelming, but in a good way. Like, that's what you're going there for. And that's a nice thing, too. If you get the touch pass and it's too much for you, just take the glow thing off your neck.
Yeah, you just take it off and they won't bother you anymore.
And then you're just going to get your normal scares, just normal jump scares, nothing like that. But again, even though it might sound freaky what we're describing, you're not getting hurt. They didn't do anything, any shitty thing like try and force feed us or shock us or anything like that. It's just they're going to grab you and they're going to like toss you around a little bit, but not in a way. When I say toss, I mean like they're not throwing you on the ground, but they're going to like kind of push you a little bit, but in like a safe way where you're not going to actually get physically harmed. You might get physically harmed yourself when you freak out and fall because you're jumping.
Yeah, if you like resist, you might get a little bit, but...
And that's the thing too, like don't do this and like don't be one of those assholes that go into a haunt and like, you're paying to get touched, but then you like punch an actor because they grabbed you. Don't do that. And it's amazing to me that so many people like that's been like a big thing this year. We're not going to talk about it a lot, but like it's been a big thing with like people like brutalizing haunt actors.
Yes.
Like
don't do it.
What the hell? Yeah, obviously, don't do that. And of course, it's very gory haunt. It's a slaughterhouse theme. Lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of just horrible scenes you're going to see. Yeah, I mean, obviously, scare factor is also a 10. That's what we gave it last year, and it was scarier for us this year because we did the touch pass.
Actually, one of the people that came with us told us that the scare, because we asked everybody as we were leaving, what do you score it? And they were like 69.
Oh, yeah. It's just that one. Because she's like, it was a 69.
It was a 69. Giggity. Because it was just, it was very
really
scary. Very scary.
But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Real scary. But moving on to value.
All right. So, it is $30 for general admission. It's $6 extra for the touch pass. And it took about 25 minutes for us to walk through.
I don't know. I could not find on the website for a VIP pass. They do have a VIP line. No one was in it that night. I don't know how you get the VIP, if it's gate only or not. Now, it is all time ticketing. You must buy your tickets in advance. In future, Josh, remember to put a link for the website down below. So people watching, there should be a link in the description for you can click and buy your tickets. So just know if you pull up, you won't even probably be able to park unless you have a ticket. So make sure you buy your tickets in advance.
They were asking us when we pulled in if we had tickets. So.
And the wait wasn't long at all because of the time ticketing. We waited, I don't know, at max 20 minutes, but it felt like nothing because, the Q actor, just the one, but he was so entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of glad we had to wait a little while.
Yeah, I was too, because he was very entertaining, and it was just... It made it go a lot faster. I didn't even realize it was like 20 minutes.
I didn't time it, but I think it was probably about 20.
I think it was probably.
Yeah, but 20 minutes really isn't much to wait for a haunt, especially not one of this quality. And 25 minutes is what it took to walk through. So pretty much the same as last year because, again, they haven't done any expansions this year. I don't know if there's any more room for them to expand in the future, but, I mean, 25 minutes I feel like is long, especially for the intensity of the haunt.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think it needs to be much longer. We also feel that $30 is a very fair price.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish that the touch pass was just an option instead of an extra charge. But most places do an upcharge. But still, even at $36, because most people I think are probably going to do the $30 general.
Yeah.
But for $6 more, I do implore you to at least try it. I mean, hey, you get a free glow stick, I guess.
Yay!
Yeah, you're getting a $6 glow stick, and it also allows the actors to, brutalize you a little bit. But
fun.
No, we think the value is really good for what you're getting, and we did give value a 10 just because there are haunts of much less caliber or similar caliber to this that are twice as much.
Oof.
Like we have one we plan on going to call Reaper's Revenge, which is over $60. So I know it's supposed to be long, but when I saw the price for that, I'm like, oh my. So yeah, I think the value for this place is really cool. And overall, I don't know if you could guess the overall score or not, but it's obviously a 10. That's what everything else has got. I love this place. It's one of the best haunts that we've ever been to. I'm glad that it's not that far from us. There's so many good haunts also to go that are close to this. Ghoul Brothers, which is where we went to right after this, it's only 25 minutes away.
Yeah, it's not far.
Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory, Factory of Terror.
Yeah.
There's just, those are...
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's so many, and you can hit... You know, if you start with one like right when it opens, because like Ghoul Brothers is open at midnight too. Don't sleep on that one. That's another really good haunt. You know, that's what we did, because we didn't get there till like 11, but they're open at midnight. So like, go to a couple, support these places. You know, they're really good. And Chippewa, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's something else. And if you're far away, it's worth traveling for. And that's, I mean, it's another good thing if you're someone like us that does travel like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. It's more than just one haunt.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to go, and you're going to be able to go to at least 2 other like world-class haunts. But yeah, just make sure you go to this one. And also Nightmare Cleveland's opening soon.
Yeah.
So soon, that one's also not that far from this. I think it's only probably 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes, yeah.
I haven't mapped it, but yeah. So I mean, there's another one by the same owners that you can go to. So I mean, I love that this like area is getting so many haunts, and not just haunts, but really good ones.
Yes.
Oh, and Fortress of Fear in Alliance, Ohio.
Yes, Fortress of Fear.
Just doesn't end. And we have reviews for all of these places on the channel. Not all this year, but we do have reviews for all of them. But, again, make sure you are liking and subscribing, leaving us a comment if you like the video. And also make sure you ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future upcoming videos, reviews. So we plan on having quite a few more coming up. And again, Ghoul Brothers will be after this. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.